the influence of Scottish immigrants on the United States called Tartan Day. Why did we call it Clan Day or Kilt Day or Heather Day or even Bagpipe Day? It's because tartan is the most recognised symbol of Scotland throughout the world. Even if other Celtic races like the Irish and the Welsh have their own versions of it. Just as they have unsuccessfully tried to emulate Scotch whisky, tartan truly belongs to the Scots. Incidentally, the ancient Scots were actually an Irish tribe who emigrated to Scotland from Ireland back in the 5th century AD, or CE, meaning the Common Era, if you're going to be politically correct. What exactly is tartan? It's a pattern of crisscrossed horizontal and vertical bands in multiple colours that were originally woven in wool. Nowadays it's internationally used and can be found printed on any medium, from paper to the tails of British Airways airplanes. The name tartan is believed to come from the French tirtain, referring to woven cloth. Where did it all start? Where was the first tartan made? You're not allowed to answer. A 3,000-year-old mummy in Western China has what appeared to be a type of tartan legging on it. But we know that it was certainly found by archaeologists in Central Europe among Celtic races between the 6th and 8th century BC or BCE, before the Common Era. The earliest find in Britain was the Falkirk tartan in the 3rd century AD. This was a piece of cloth stuffed into the top of a pot containing Roman coins, found just north of the Antonine Wall, near Falkirk, Scotland. In more recent times, it's clear the Highland weavers wove pattern cloth which was more associated with themselves and their area rather than a particular clan. In fact, clan tartans are only a couple of 100 years old. Back in 1725, the government standardised a tartan for the Highland Independent Companies, which was formalised in 1739 and became the Black Watch, which is probably the best known tartan today. After the Battle of Culloden in 1746, the wearing of the tartan was banned because of by the British government because of its association with Bonnie Prince Charlie and the Highland clans. The ban wasn't repealed until 1782, although Scots were known to surreptitiously carry a little bit of tartan on their person. It wasn't until 1822 when King George IV visited Scotland, and there hadn't been a monarch visit Scotland for about 170 years before that. It wasn't until his visit that tartan came to the fore and became the national dress of Scotland. Queen Victoria's visit in 1848 also popularised the tartan. Now, registration of clan tartans only became official in 1815, and today the only person with authority to make a clan tartan official is the Lord Lion King of Arms. There are now over 7,000 registered tartans. In fact, it took our society over 260 years to register our own St Andrew's Society of Philadelphia pattern. And this is it. That's why I'm carrying it in my arm. This is the St Andrew's Society clan tartan. And you'll see it on all our pipers decked out in the clan tartan. So, lads and lasses, you can do what Colin Powell did a few years ago and go off and register your very own tartan if you wish, and take pride in this very demonstrable symbol of our native land. Now, this is the end of my brief introduction to the tartan, but before I hand over to Rocky Rager, our society's kilt maker from USA Kilts, who will bring us up to date on the present and future outlook of tartans, I'll close with a short poem that I wrote on Wednesday to mark the occasion. The sight of it can make us happy, both sober and among the nappy. It fills us with patriotic feeling and sends our sense of pride a-reeling. To see it swish there in a pleat of kilt that's folded oh so neat, or on a sash round neck or arm, accentuating a lady's charm. Today you see it everywhere, on blanket, dress or evening wear, on plants or trews or mackintosh. It makes one feel so very posh. What is this that one looks so smart in? None other than our Scottish tartan. Well done.
Thank you, Drew. Now, as Drew has gone through the history of tartan very well, I won't really need to touch on most of that. And while the facts and opinions of the origins of tartan cloth are varied and hazy at best, as you've just heard from Drew, there is one thing that is indisputable. No one group has embraced and promoted tartan cloth as passionately as the Scots. Today, rather than speak about the history of tartan, as it's already secured its place in the world of both Scottish clansmen and fashion houses alike, I'm going to speak to the present and the future of this cloth that we have come here today to honor. Tartan is Scotland's gift to the world. It is an instantly recognizable symbol of one's association with a clan or a district or a group. It is also recognized increasingly as the extension of a brand. Burberry, a leading fashionable company in the UK, has their own distinctly recognizable tartan. Brooks Brothers, an American company, recently registered their own tartan and uses that tartan on hundreds of products made from cloth woven in Scotland. From fashion gurus to clan chiefs, tartan is alive and well. For the Scots among us, it has always stood as a symbol of our love for Scotland and our allegiance to our clan and family. In the fashion world, its popularity has waxed and waned over the years, but never in history has it enjoyed such a level of popularity that is extended today. In today's global economy, the world truly has gotten smaller, and tartan's place in that world has grown. With that global marketplace comes new challenges and new opportunities for Scottish businesses in the tartan market. When things stagnate, they die. It's true with all things, and especially with fashion. Things must constantly be pushed forward to evolve and to be relevant to a newer, younger generation, or they run the risk of becoming relics of the past. This is not to say that there is no place for tradition and history, but it must be constantly embraced and examined in different lights to continue to be relevant. Every tradition starts out as a new idea at some point. At one point, as Drew alluded, the Black Watch tartan, which is the world's most popular tartan, was a new design. Now imagine if Black Watch was the only tartan that people wore. I fear that the clan tartans would not have evolved, and tartans as we know them today would not exist. Early tartan innovators like Wilsons of Bannockburn and the Sobieski Stewarts pushed their new tartan designs forward to a broader market and ensured tartan's long-term survival by introducing dozens and dozens of clan tartans. Now, with the rising popularity of any product, there will be imitators wanting to cash in on that trend. And without innovation, that becomes a lot easier. In the past 30 to 40 years, tartans have enjoyed a period of extended popularity in pop culture, fashion, and traditional Highland wear industries. Because of this period of popularity, tartan and the Scottish Highland wear industry are under threat from two things: a global economy where cheaply produced goods are readily available, and tartan's own success. The last 15 years in the tartan wear industry have been trying times. We've seen a traditional marketplace flooded with cheap kilts from the Far East. And these companies have followed the trends of tartan and see that there's a place in the market for them. Because the labor prices are so low and the weaving costs are much lower in those regions, this puts Scotland and other Celtic countries at a distinct price disadvantage. As a result of this, several mills in Scotland, which are the backbone of the tartan industry, have suffered from the recent trend and the subsequent influx. Without these mills investing in infrastructure and technology, they've relied on their quality and their name alone to carry on. Now the issue is that can only take them so far. I've seen several mills struggle to keep their doors open. 3 mills, Loch Carron, Dalgleish, and Anthony Haynes textile mills, have all sold within the past few years. Now while this does paint a bleak picture, there truly is a silver lining here. Yes, the mills have sold, but 2 of those mills sold to their largest Scottish customers. And the third mill, Loch Carron, which was bought by a Korean firm, had that firm approved to keep Lough Erne in Scotland because of the quality of the product that they were producing. All three of these mills have been seen an infusion of finances, technology, and machinery back into the business to help prop them up and ensure their long-term viability in the tartan market. On Friday, I spoke with Brian Wilton, who's the director of the Scottish Tartans Authority in Scotland, and he has a very bright outlook on the industry and on the life of tartan. New designs are being registered on a daily basis. Clan tartans and family tartans, group tartans, corporate tartans and fashion tartans alike. There are over 7,000 registered tartans in the Scottish Tartan Registry today. Tartans, and with them their meaning, have truly become a cloth that the world has embraced. Let us continue to promote the love of and desire for tartan goods, which will help further the Scottish businesses that depend on it. In order for the Scottish mills to compete in this global market, we found that we must innovate and push forward with new technology, with service, and with quality to stay ahead of the pack. We must zig when the companies in the Far East zag. We must continue to develop new tartan designs, identify new market segments, and new product offerings. Like Burberry and the Brooks Brothers, we must embrace the general public's desire for all things tartan and promote it. We must cultivate the love of tartan beyond traditional Highland wear while simultaneously respecting tartan symbolism to those who hold this cloth dear. We must share this wonderful cloth and others who appreciate its beauty. Through newly registered tartan designs, those of us of Welsh, Irish, German, and other lineage may also show our pride in this cloth. I'd encourage everyone here to wear our kilts more than 2 times a year on Tartan Day and Robert Burns Day. Let us continually honor this cloth, so full of meaning, by making it a year-round staple in our wardrobes, not just relegated to the Christmas holidays. Let the world know how we feel about this cloth and about Scotland by showing off our tartan. And in closing, I will leave you with a poem titled The Tartan. I am not astounded, I did not write this. However, the tartan, here's to it. The fighting sheen of it, the yellow, the green of it, the white, the blue of it, the swing, the hue of it, the dark, the red of it, every thread of it. The fair have sighed for it, the brave have died for it, foemen have sought for it, heroes fought for it. Honor the name of it, and drink to the fame of it. The tartan. Thank you.